G'day guys. Regarding these Cruzes, this is a follow-up video now on the Cruze series. There's going to have to be a little, probably playlist just for the Cruze as they develop more and more problems with me. And I'm getting them in more and more. They're quite a well-sold car because I always think there's a lot to this car. It's a nice car. Like, I always think, oh, it's a Civic. And then I think, no, it's a Cruze. They must have outsold the Civic 5-1. When Holden makes a car like this back in the day, I don't think these got the numbers, but like the Mazda 3, 35,000 units a year approximately in Australia. The Holden Astra is a #1 selling car in its class, I believe, or close to. So what you're seeing here is GM Daewoo, Opel, the Ecotec engine with the timing belt. They do things nicely for a while. What can I say? When you're buying a car, I wouldn't let this guy go yesterday, and he sort of really appreciated it. I was like, look, I've never met you. Why did you buy the car? Who'd you buy it from? This Rebecca chick, no problem. And I started going around the car. Now, I always say, the first thing you do, you open the bonnet and check the coolant. As I moved around the vehicle and said to him, right, front brakes are new. Back brakes are new. You got 2 keys. Logbooks. When does your rego expire? In 1 day, right? So, as I move around, I see the rock cover sweat. Now, guys like me, we're sort of used to, even though we do a lot of modern cars and we're good and we're the best, we're used to the older cars that give you a bit of time. Right? Now, you can't see any oil here, but this indication of a sweat on any of these Korean engines, Kia, whatever it is, indicates a bigger oil leak usually. So it is leaking from a few places. Now, what we have is, finally I said, oh, you know, the battery looks good, even though that's not really a test. And then I came here. So what we've got here is not a blown cooler in the radiator. We've got a blown cooler for the engine. It's over $510 for the part, $100 for the O-rings, rocker cover gasket. So I've drained the plug yesterday, and the transmission plug, and confirmed there's no contamination with the gearbox. The oil in the gearbox looks like the oil in the engine by now at 150,000 odd kilometres. So this is just one video, but next week, I don't know if you'll authorise the repairs. The oil cooler will be done. GM sells about 8 to 12 of them a month in Sydney. So this is another ongoing issue with these vehicles. It's just disgraceful. The car's 5 years old, 6 years old, you know. So anyway, we'll follow up with that next week. And that's for the wretched GM Daewoo Cruze. You are getting a Korean car here. Okay? It's not the German cars. Not that the German cars were much better, but still.